So my Phalaenopsis LD's Bear Queen opened the flower yesterday. And I had 3 Phalaenopsis who started growing spikes approximately at the same time. At least I discovered those spikes almost at the same time. And I was wondering which one will bloom first. And every day was checking to see some indications on which one is faster. And I noticed that Mokcho Yu had the color spots appearing almost right away when buds started to form. And LD Bear Queen was green almost all the time, but it was pretty large bud. And Javanica has a lot of color, but buds are very miniature. So I thought maybe Javanica would be first because it looked so plump that I thought, oh, it should open today. But see, it's still closed. And LD Bear Queen actually won this race. So I think it's very pretty and I like the shape. You notice that it looks almost identical to bellina, except the flower is much larger and it's greenish yellow instead of white. So it is cross of bellina and dragon tree eagle. And I know the parents, the clonal names of the parents of my plant because I grew it from flask. I bought flask from Kingfisher Orchids. And so this plant I grew from the jar. And the parents are Dragon Tree Eagle DT1 crossed with Bellina Taiwan. The Dragon Tree Eagle DT1 is really famous clone. It was awarded, I think, AMAOS, and it parented a lot of interesting novelty crosses. They're usually very colorful and fragrant and have nice shape. And if you Google its name, Dragon Tree Eagle DT1, you will see the pictures. And I could not find any pictures of Bellina Taiwan. I searched Kingfisher's website, hoping that they have it. Then I searched Google Images, and the only thing that came up was Bellina Blue Taiwan. But I'm pretty sure there was no word blue in the name of parent of my plant. I bought this flask in 2013, so it's actually like 5 years out of the flask, this plant. Not very fast to bloom, but to its defense, or to my defense, I bought this flask when I just started to grow orchids and had absolutely no experience and for the most part didn't know what I was doing. And then my tank was moved to basement where it was pretty cold, like intermediate. That didn't help also. So at some point, I decided that I'm not growing Phalaenopsis anymore and moved to sleepers, and I got rid of a lot of my Phalaenopsis plants and seedlings. And a couple plants from this flask were in pretty bad conditions. They were small and with all the roots rotted, so they weren't good to give it to somebody or to sell it. And they stuck with me in a cold basement. And then probably I got some more experience and I knew how to fix them. So eventually they started to grow. And this plant was progressing very well. It started to grow nice, large, round leaves that any bellina descendant would have. And the second plant was slower to recover, but eventually it got roots and leaves too. And right now, Brass Quetzal has the second one from this flask. And now this one is blooming. And I noticed that in the tank it makes it like greenish. So I took it out of the tank to see it in a day view, in a daylight view. And that's how it looks like in the daylight. It's yellowish green with raspberry middle. And it smells exactly like bellina. Very strong, sweet, pleasant, fruit loopy smell. So this is the story of my plant. I hope it was not too boring. I think I got this flask because I was hoping that the flower will be larger than bellina and that it will be easier to grow as a hybrid. And the next one to bloom, I think, will be Javanica. I think, it's in focus. I think she will be opening like in a couple days, which I was thinking for a couple days already. So stay tuned for Javanica blooms. And she has actually 2 spikes. There's another spike growing. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.